The eve of Officer Patrick Connor's hearing, from when he blatantly ignored several pleas of help by me, he decides to step down. The emotions welling in me are too numerous to sit and describe each one, so I decided to pick the two that keep reappearing among the chaos. Firstly, I am severely disappointed. I will never get to hear from this man, this protector, his reasoning for why my safety, no, my life had such little value to him. Why an American citizen could not reap the benefits of the police force when it was most needed. I will never get to hear his explanation of understanding his response of not stepping in because Tim was a regular with no violent history, yet Mr. Timothy Tribus was charged with domestic violence in the past. How could this man, who had been on the force for 10 years, defend his lack of action? How can an American defend denying a fellow American help? What a coward to run away when his discrepancies were brought to the light, when justice was to be served. Secondly, I feel indescribable joy. This man will never be in a position to serve and protect a life, yet turn away again. Whether I helped 1 or 100 humans to avoid a run-in with the former officer, I have done my job. My persistence and the support of the hundreds who stood by me are what made this possible. There is truly a fierce power behind the masses. United we stand. Before I started recording, I made my way to the shelter, and Mr. Tribus, along with 2 other people, were sitting there, and I had politely asked them to move and let them know that I had a permit for the area. Mr. Tribus then asked me twice if the shirt I was wearing was the Texas state flag, and I told him twice that no, it was the Puerto Rican flag, and right before I started recording, he actually stepped on top of the table, which is when I felt the most threatened, and hence me grabbing my phone to start recording, because I didn't know what was going to happen next. I can honestly say that I feared for my safety. This man who was coming for me was probably closer than she's standing to me right now. And although I pleaded multiple times with no help, I can tell that the man felt justified, and that was just fueling him to continue to become aggressive and step towards me. So I was scared. I have never personally had an encounter with racism to this degree. So it was definitely an eye-opener, and I always sympathize for people who I saw online being harassed, but now I get to empathize, and it's a completely different feeling.